Hey.
Hey.
Podcast America.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to episode 53 of
There
the
we go.
Enlightened Neanderthals. And before we get into it, I'll talk about my own company, Training Northwest, which you can find at trainingnorthwestllc.com. The Rifleman Camp, I think we've got 5 slots left. I was just talking to...
Only 5?
Only 5.
Dude, that's pretty good.
You guys remember Steve from the gym, Black Belt Steve?
Yes.
He's going to come out. He's bringing his son. So that's kind of awesome because that'll be the first...
He did it last year, which was
He did
fun.
it last year.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And so he's bringing his boy out this year, which is kind of cool because last year was all single participants, and now we have a father-son combo coming out for the first time. So that makes me happy. Electric North Jiu-Jitsu Pantheon of Podcast.
Uh-oh. Who's going first? Point it off, Tobin.
Greg Anderson, Endless Endeavor.
He points to himself. Fucking dork.
Christy Campbell and Coffee Talks.
Danny Leyland, White Belt Mafia.
Stones and Bones, Tyler Stanaway, Compassionate Viking.
And the Patriotic Islander, Will Notel.
Check them all out, guys. Did we get them all, Mike?
Yeah, we got him.
All right.
Keep going.
Listen to all of them, even though there's not enough hours in the day. Okay, just listen to us. We'll keep you filled in. What did we talk about, Michael?
Boys, we talked about hunting. We shared an experience. I rode on the back of a dirt bike with Jordan. I saw Tobin in his underwear sunning. We got ticks in a restaurant. What else happened? We turkey hunted.
We turkey hunted.
But we connected with man. The Neanderthals went Neanderthal.
We did.
Yeah.
We did a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Why brush your teeth?
Fuck that. Why shower?
Yeah. South Dakota heathenry.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy the show, you guys.
Caffeine. Like
I'm in two
3 to 400 milligrams of caffeine a day.
But 1 cup of coffee is 200 milligrams, right?
Depends on the size.
I guess.
So if, like a weekday morning is 3 cups for me, and on a Saturday or Sunday, I'm drinking coffee until I'm shaking and having cold sweats.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I guess I'm just on track then. Yeah, because I was looking at, I drink those not Starbucks, the Costco cold brews.
Yeah.
Those
you always have those in your truck.
Yeah, and those are 200 each.
Yeah, that's a regular cup of coffee though, right?
Yeah, or 200 or 250, and I'll do 2 of those, and then these little fuckers,
50 each, right?
50 each, and
They taste delicious.
I got 2 in right now.
Oh, do you?
And yeah, and I'll.
You
do
ever
that.
keistered them? See
Not
if it goes
yet.
Directly
Not
direct
yet.
to your bloodstream.
I'm not against it.
Do you still taste the mocha if you keister them?
Well,
You smell it.
yeah, different scents.
Yeah.
But you're getting it.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
But why?
These things are delicious.
Yeah, grinds.
Mocha. Is it double mocha or just mocha? It says double mocha.
Yeah, this is double mocha.
That's why it's so
there's
chocolatey.
there's all kinds though. There's
Is there vanilla?
yeah, there's vanilla. There's chocolate.
Is it just
there's-
coffee grounds in a pouch?
There's obviously chocolate in
I haven't
there.
looked
Some
that deep into
fake-ass
it.
sugar.
Because we
Probably.
can just go to Costco and make this, right?
But they're in the pre-made pouch. You can't just put coffee grinds in your lip. You're going to have a disaster.
Well,
You can. You can.
That's what
I mean,
need.
there's a bunch of shit in this, I guess.
Oh, is it a bunch of things you can't pronounce?
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah. But I'm
Probably was like crystal. We're all meth addicts now.
coffee.
coffee. It's French, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So no, there's some other stuff in here that glycerin. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, what do we do? We're recapping the turkey hunt. Is that the idea, Mike?
Yeah.
You sent us an idea that I liked and I forgot it.
Like many things I do in life, no
Yeah.
one remembers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turkey hunting was awesome. That was
Turkey
so
hunting
much fun.
was awesome, but it's like we all got to go out into the woods like for more than one day. You know,
Yeah.
Deer didn't really count because we didn't have the whole crew.
That's true.
And turkey isn't the pressure of a deer hunt or an elk hunt, and it's kind of more laid back and camping, but it's also you're still hunting, so you get those rushes. You still get the memories and the experience of a hunting trip. So I just kind of wanted to do maybe a recap. And I always feel like I take something away from hunting trips, whether it's the hunt itself or like we were saying earlier, you're sitting for hours and hours and stuck with yourself. So you're kind of stuck with your own thoughts in your mind. And I don't know, I feel like there's point of reflection. So hunting trips to me are always like, what did you learn and what did you learn about the animals?
Okay.
And then tell about the shenanigans.
Because I actually, there was a lot of shenanigans, and I actually learned.
It's awesome.
There was also a lot of great sort of parallels that I noticed between tactical situations or like a infantry type mission and what we were
talking
doing
turkey
out there.
tactical?
Yeah, turkey tactical
Turkey
versus
tactical.
versus Al Qaeda tactical.
Yeah.
And
Those jive ass turkeys.
Yeah. Well, it really like got highlighted because Jordan and I had our dirt bikes out there, and so we were highly mobile. You know, going from one spot to another and not having to waste a lot of energy. And I think it was the first full day we were out there. The morning had been unsuccessful. We had heard the one gobble a little bit out in the woods when Nathan and I were with you, Mike. Mm-hmm. And then we went back to camp.
I wouldn't say Lil Gobble, but continue.
Yeah, it was a loud, it surprised me at how loud it was and how loudly it echoed through the woods. And I was like, is that real or is that like somebody fucking with us?
Proximity
Mike was like,
matters.
no, that was a real turkey. I was like, holy shit, because it feels like it's right on top of you. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
And so I got on my dirt bike and I was just headed out for a cruise. I took my shotgun and my call with me, and I went down on that lower road by that open field. And there were 4 or 5 deer out on the far side of the field. So I just stopped to look at them through my binoculars, and I turned the bike off, and I was just sitting there. And I thought, fuck it. As long as I'm here, I'm going to pull out my box call and give a few chirps. And literally right behind me on the other side of the road, Tom started gobbling back. And I was like, holy shit, he's right there. And obviously the brush is thick, the trees are thick, you can't really see. And so I kept chirping back at him, trying to get him to step out onto the road. And eventually I realized he was getting a little further away, moving up the hill away from me. And I remembered that a half mile back, or maybe probably quarter mile back on the road, I had passed like a shitty track that ran up the hill, the direction this Tom was moving. So I jumped on my bike and went ripping back down the road, hit that track, got myself into like a pretty gnarly hill climb, which at that point,
nature.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, moving with the forest, and immediately got myself into a pretty nasty hill climb, which was a lot of fun. And fortunately, like all the mountain biking years, I have some skill on 2 wheels, which translated, because I didn't know until then if it would or not. Because once you're into that steep incline, it's kind of like, what are you going to do? You can put it in neutral and try to back down the hill. That's not going to work out.
Right.
So just, yeah, exactly. Stay on the throttle and ride it out. But anyway, I got up to like a flatter part, and I was able to get the kickstand down, kill the bike, and I immediately jumped under a thick tree and set my shotgun down and started calling again. And right as I did, dude, they stepped out onto this track in front of me.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, there's 2 hens right there. And I looked down at my shotgun to start like slowly putting the box call down and reaching for the shotgun. And as I looked back up, it was like, fuck, that is a big turkey standing there. And that's the Tom, right? Yeah. And I didn't want to spook him because I was afraid they'd run away. So
you were using your motorcycle as a blind, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Left it idling.
No, it was about 50 yards behind me down the road. And I didn't want to spook them or pressure them, so I just waited till they stepped off the track into the brush again. Then I picked up my shotgun, and I followed them into the brush a bit, and I knew that I was catching glimpses of them, and so they were kind of moving ahead of me. So rather than just follow behind them, I came back on the road, ran down to the next ravine, then ran up that ravine, and then crested over the ridge line, and I ended up pretty much 90-degree intercepting them. But again, I couldn't, that brush is thick. They're kind of poking their heads up. I can't tell what's a male, what's a hen. And I was like, fuck, I can't. And at that point, they could kind of tell something was up, and they started moving fast up the hill. And I didn't want to pressure them out of the area. Mm-hmm. So I just figured, fuck it, it's day one. I'll just back off and figure out. But it really highlighted the parallels, like in like a tactical situation, like let's say we're chasing Al-Qaeda or Taliban in the mountains. Having mobility and being able to sort of think ahead and outmaneuver various formations is a huge advantage. So using that dirt bike to outmaneuver, because there's no way I ever would have caught them going up the hill on foot.
No.
The ability to jump on that bike, haul ass up the hill, get in front of them again. So I had one opportunity that I missed because I had my call in my hand and not my shotgun. And then I got a second opportunity from running up that ravine. But neither one of those would have happened had I not had the mobility of the motorcycle.
Well, I think turkey, every animal's different. I mean, there's parallels that cross over, but for turkey especially, it's all about ridges. You want to get at the top of whatever ridge you can find and follow that spine everywhere. And yes, there's a lot of tactical carryover, but especially for turkey, they have the ability to fly.
Yeah.
You know, so if they're on a peak, they can bail left, right, forward, back, and they just go down to the next peak.
I remember
and
you saying that they like high ground because they can.
I say
they
the
can,
same couple
They can
things
flush
over and
downhill,
over.
and that gives them. It's like a helicopter taking off, and it needs to gain speed right away. So if it can dive downhill to begin with, it gains speed right away, and that makes sense that the turkeys would do the same thing.
Yeah. So I feel turkey hunting is very much just finding the highest peaks and just take those spines and call back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I've never really done turkey hunting, ripping around on a motorcycle, but
You haven't lived,
here's
brother.
the thing. I do know many people that have killed multiple turkeys, and they just drive around the woods in their truck and they'll honk their horn. And if they hear a gobble, that's when they're like, let's pursue this. It's interesting to think of, like, you're turkey hunting during their mating season. And when you get horny, your brains turn off. It's the reason we like archery elk when they're in the rut compared to rifle. And turkey's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you learn kind of their habitat, because this was fun. Like I said it earlier, I helped a bunch of first-time turkey hunters, but it's like your first hunt, you learned a lot about ridge lines and turkeys and their habitat of staying high because their ability to bail. But then it's like, okay, you started to play with your box call. And that first day I hunted
Well,
with you.
hang on. Does it really matter what you do with the box call if a fucking car horn is enough to get them to call back?
To answer doesn't matter, but to lure in and to chirp and to get
Gotcha.
them into a decoy,
Yeah.
that's where it matters to have your cadence and your tone and everything.
Yeah.
But you learn so much in one hunt of like get up high and follow them. And I think that just, you're going to take something away from each hunt. And it's cool that you got to use a dirt bike to do it in sweet style and tail whip it up there and chase turkeys. That's cool. Yep. And it's a cool area to do it in.
It was such a beautiful area.
Yeah.
Aside from the yard cars. I mean,
Well, and the ticks.
Yeah,
And the ticks.
The ticks were the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had a dirt bike on any kind of hunt ever. I've never had a dirt bike on a camping trip. So just going out and having that was like, this is a blast.
It's cool.
And ripping around, doing that. But it definitely made it to where I wasn't nearly as committed to the day in the hunt. And I got really, I turned this more into like a vacation kind of
totally.
Situation, as opposed to like, I'm going to try and really get one of these
spring
fucking
break.
turkeys. Yeah. Oh, definitely. It was fun because
You're not working.
you're not working.
You're
You're out there.
decompressing.
You're doing well. That's the biggest thing I took away from this whole trip was I was going and I could not stay awake. I'm a woods sleeper, right?
Yes,
I
you
like
are.
to sleep in the woods, but that was like I needed that. The following, like since we got back, work's been better. I can think better. I'm not as stressed. Like I needed that, and like. It was very surprising to me how that affected me, and being able to go and sleep in the woods. And I don't know, like if it's grounding or whatever we've talked about and all that, but
No.
it was. There's something about going and taking
Probably
some
just
naps
letting
and
go of all the day-to-day stress and like, hey, we're here for a week.
Think how good meditation is for you. And it's good for your heart. And it's good for your mind. And it's good for clarity. But it's so hard to meditate when everything's so busy around you. When you go into the woods, yes, you have your purpose to hunt this turkey, but when you go at 7 a.m. and it's freezing cold and you left at 6:30 and at 7 you're in your spot and now you got to sit till 8 and with your decoys till the action really happens, this is a slower pace and it tunes you down. And when you take that nap, I feel like it's instant meditation. It's, call it grounding, call it whatever, but it's like you're pulled into those woods trying to adjust to that time. And there is something about it makes you sleepy.
Yeah, I like the way you said tuning down. Maybe that's what it is. You know that the key to the successful hunt is slowing down and quieting down and sitting down and being still. And so you do sort of like, quote unquote, tune yourself down.
And that charges your batteries, though. I think where I noticed it, from every hunt, just like this one. But you come back and you're like, oh, I'm a little less snappy. I don't react. I'm kind of more what's happening.
Yeah, no,
I'm reacting slower.
I needed it.
Yeah.
I needed it, and there was something to having that. And I do think that like getting caught up on sleep a little bit, if that's even something that happens. I fucking did for sure. And, again, because we were ripping around on motorcycles, it made it a little harder to concentrate on the hunting. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to go down here for a little bit. And then I'd go sit in the woods for a couple hours. And then
It does make you think like, let's go check that spot. Let's go check that spot.
Yeah. When you can get back to camp, like when it takes an hour to walk down to a spot and set up, you're kind of committed.
Yeah.
You're like,
you got to plan out your water. You got to think about like extra clothing, or do I want to bring a snack? How long am I going to sit down there? Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
I'm good. But I'll tell you what, dude, that packing, like bringing the trailer and all the other stuff, it made so much more of a pain in the butt because, like, dude, I'm such a light, like, I'm like, okay, I got my little stove, I got, I get all of my stuff, it fits in my bag, I'm good to go, and we're out the door.
Packing for deer was much easier because it had to fit in your backpack.
Yeah, but when I had
if it didn't fit in your backpack, it wasn't coming.
Yeah.
Well, you're bringing home with you when you're making camp.
Yeah.
But that's what you want. You want all your little toys and accessories.
We watched a movie
On a big screen.
That was actually one of the coolest things I mean, gear guy, what is that thing you have, that little projector?
That is a Nebula Capsule Max. And it is a projector that's the size of like
A Foster's can.
a Foster's can, yeah. And I don't even think it's that big around.
Oh.
But yeah, it's about the size of a beer can, smaller than an Algene by a long shot, but it's similar shape, a Coke can shape. And
It's just a giant pill.
Yeah.
That's all it looks like. Yeah.
And so you can download movies onto it, and it's like 1080p, and you can have up to like 35-inch screen or something like that.
It was perfect. Played it on the back of a
Pop-up
canopy,
tent.
pop-up awning.
An awning wall.
Yeah.
But I have a screen for it that stretches out so it stays flat.
It was better on that tent because when the wind would blow, like it would kind of like change the shape of the picture. It's like you're at a campfire. It's like it makes it perfect.
Yeah, it was awesome.
No,
That was the coolest thing
it
I've
was
ever seen.
super fun.
Yeah.
So that we were watching a couple episodes of Meat Eater. And
They had successful hunts.
and some
No dirt bikes, huh?
and then a couple stand-ups. It's awesome. I love that, and it's like that is what you can bring some things like that out there, and it's like this is ridiculous.
Yep.
But it was cool because you're just hanging out by a campfire, watching a movie, like hanging out, talking over it, and still like you're just getting that good vibe.
See, but that's a good merger of nature and technology. That's like using it in the right way to provide a form of entertainment that is hilarious, that people can gather around and laugh and share and experience, but you're still in the wild. It's cool. That's a good use of technology in a primitive setting.
Yeah.
That was fun. It made for a better experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even like just to go back real quick to the sort of the unwinding and relaxing. Nathan said the same thing to me after we got back. He's like, "Man, it's just tough to go back to life."
When you can be turkey hunting,
Yeah, he's like, all I want to do is go out in the woods and hang out with you guys. It's like, me too.
That's all I want to do. Yeah. Yep. All right, get ready for school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and to recognize that at, 11,
At 12,
11
grade.
is kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, well, strap up, buddy.
Yeah, no shit. More to come. More to come. Hang tight.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing is like having that experience with Nathan. We all got to take him out.
That's right. Yeah,
and have that was really cool.
Yeah, he spent at least a couple hours with each of you guys, and again, it makes a huge difference. From like a parenting standpoint, to have friends who are quality people and who take an interest in your kids and who like put an arm around them a little bit. So I'm greatly appreciative to both of you guys for doing that. Like it makes a big difference in his life. And it's cool. It's cool. He has real men who he looks up to. Rather, I mean, look at where society's going. And so, who are the role models in his life? He has Mike and Jordan, right? Because it's fucking dad. Dad's a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? Like, there's some things he probably doesn't even realize he looks up to me for certain reasons. But having guys like you, who he openly looks up to, is really fucking cool.
Uncles.
Yeah,
just cool uncles.
Fun uncles. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah.
It was a blast. It's like, you go out there and it's like, okay, well, I got a feeling we're gonna kill this turkey, dude. Like, this is gonna be great. And we wanted him to kill a turkey before you so bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I wanted him to kill a turkey before me. That's why the one that got really close that first morning.
Yeah.
I was up on that opposite ridgeline. And I saw you set your decoys out, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna sit here and squawk." And hopefully, he walks into Mike's decoys, and Nathan can shoot him.
That was a fun hunt. For me, this was a growing hunt. Like, I've never pursued what I thought was one animal in the entire time. And I found that turkey that first day.
Yeah.
No,
Mike was on him for the rest of the
all
rest
I
of the
do
week.
is go in those fields. I never left those fields. Every time I went in those hills and rolling, because there was a Tom that wanted to talk. He was, and which is rare. Some guy that's so horny. And it made me horny for this guy.
Oh, shit.
We both dude, heavy elevator eyes.
Just boners running around the woods everywhere.
Yeah. Gobble, gobble. Woo! The whole thing. Yeah. But it was fun chasing one. And it, like, getting new people in, like with you and Nathan that first morning. Like, that turkey, I thought I've killed a couple, and every time I've killed them, it was just like what we experienced.
Oh, okay.
Like,
you
he
hear him
came
getting
in
close,
so heavy and hot and talking so loud, and you would just make a squeak.
I want to fuck so bad,
dude. You make a squeak on your box call, and he is already screaming back at you. And that's why I was like, Nathan, get your gun ready. We're gonna blast this guy in the face. And it's fun to get new people excited. Like I told you, I was breathing kind of hard, but then it's like, calm down. And I heard Nathan breathing harder than me. And it's like, yes, this is what it's about. These are those moments, But once getting someone else in that it's new. It's something I've never done. I've always been on my own hunting solo career, but now I've got someone that's excited for a bird that the day before I met, and now it's the same bird the next day. And he's picking up on my excitement, and I'm excited that he's going to do it. It's fun to see someone kind of get hooked, like to be there for that moment that they're like, oh, fuck, and that light bulb just goes off. Yeah. That's kind of cool. And to see the same thing with Steven.
And sorry. Nathan definitely liked turkey hunting more than deer hunting, even though...
Yeah, because we saw him.
Well, not only that, but it's interactive.
We were on motorcycles.
Yeah, I did it. I was like, are you going to want to go deer hunting next year? He's like, do we have to carry all our shit? And I was like, yep. And he goes, okay. You ready? But I think it's more that even if you don't shoot them or even get eyes on them, you're still talking to them. And that gets just that as it gets closer to you, and it starts getting loud and echoing through the trees around you. You're like, "Oh shit, this is for real. This thing's within 50 yards of us. We just can't see it yet."
Wait till we get this guy on the elk, Jordan.
Oh, dude! Before last year, I didn't think you get an adrenaline dump on a turkey.
I didn't either.
But I was like, "There's no fucking way," because I'd never gone, and then last year was my first year. And that turkey came up, and I was just like, thump, 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 thump. I was like, oh, boy. And then this year, I was hoping to really make it happen. I was a little bit more calm. But there was a couple points where I thought things were about to go off, and it just never
So how it
came
goes.
out. Oh, yeah.
Even in those pine forests of eastern Washington, you can be within 50 yards of them and not see them.
50 yards, try 20
Oh,
feet.
dude, yeah. I was probably
Yeah.
within
Yes.
50 yards of 3.
Yeah. Okay.
In each direction. And then all of a sudden something came through the woods behind me and they disappeared. But
As a bear?
Yeah, it was.
Did anyone come to save you?
No one came to save me.
Yeah.
But at one point I took off my shoes. I was like, because the way to
He was
really
gonna
like
stock it down.
I thought I was like, I'm gonna kill this thing, and I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. This is so crazy. what the heck? But the way I've always thought you go about it, right, is you set up your decoys, you call, you sit, you do not move. For turkey, you sit and wait. You don't stalk these things. And I just could not get this turkey. Like the one that was behind me kind of ran off, and I heard it go off to the left. And the one that was to the left of me kind of quit. It lost interest after like all the commotion from behind. But then the one to the right stayed there, and it quieted down. And then maybe 45 minutes later, it picked up and it started gobbling and talking. And I was that crow call was awesome for that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Just to get them to fire off a little bit.
Did you know that they would respond to a crow call, or was that just fuck it, I'm going to try it?
I've heard of them responding to that, but I've heard them also responding. There's
Car horns and laughing,
all
and
kinds
Yeah,
of
but
door slamming.
at least you're a little bit more in the line
Natural,
of the
yeah.
speed of the forest with
Yeah.
the crow call. I think that crow call was amazing. I'm going to buy a crow call
Yeah.
next year for turkey.
Yeah, so
No one else do it though.
yeah.
Is our secret.
But that turkey started like coming up, and it held up probably at about 30, 40 yards away from me. But it was probably in the woods. And I was kind of set up on this little flat in this corner of a ridge. And I was like, fuck it. You know what? I've been sitting here for like, I'm being patient, but fuck it. So I took off my shoes and I started like kind of creeping over that way. And it kept talking and kept talking and kept talking. And then by the time I was able to get over there, I realized it was a little bit further away than I thought. And I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I couldn't stand it, dude. So yeah, I ended up having to dig a
Hasty foxhole.
Wait, you lost your turkey because you took a shit.
I was like, I can't do it. Dude, there wasn't I
Just waking up in the middle of the woods and like squawk, squawk, and you're like, oh, there, it's goddamn caffeine. These coffee fucking
grinds.
Yeah.
it was too much, dude. Well, dude, I
You know what
sat
that is? Blame Chad Mendez on that. That's all those peaks, dude.
dude. I had Mike,
You gotta quit eating those, buddy.
dude. I had 2 peaks.
Hang on, if you'd been eating dehydrated rations, you shouldn't have shit for a week.
You'd
Been mixing it with real food, hadn't you?
Yeah, of course.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah, rookie mistake. You can't go both ways,
Who
dude.
told you to eat that apple?
Yeah, it was too much. I didn't have time to dig a hole. Sorry, Tobin. I had to dig a hole. Well, it was primarily I got to take a shit. Secondarily, I'll dig a hole.
Surface shitters are the worst.
No, I dug a hole.
Guy was rumbling on a TW
Yeah.
for the past 6
yeah, I
hours.
shook it loose.
Yeah.
dude.
with a peak biscuits and gravy in his gut.
Who can blame him?
So I had to dig a hole after the fact.
Oh, that's
It
fine.
was-
As long as you buried it.
Yeah, I had to do the old shit and roll. So, yeah, I was back there, and then I was like, I hope Steven doesn't come over this ridge, just catching me like
As I'm deucing on the ground here. Yeah.
as I'm sitting down here, because I heard somebody walk by there and I heard voices and stuff, and I was like, oh man, these sons of bitches are gonna catch me. This is gonna be an embarrassing story.
I see something over there in the brush. Take a shot.
Just shoot. No.
Yeah.
Pooping and you hear a box call keep getting closer and closer. Like you're sweating the louder it gets.
Yeah, you're squatted down looking like a turkey. Had to take that toilet paper and wave it above my head.
Well, I mean, this is maybe not normal podcast talk, but we could get into it because it's our
podcast
recap. Pooping in the woods, something about being in the woods, not having a toilet to sit down on.
Yeah.
It changes up
It's
rhythm,
physiologically
one might say.
correct also to squat like that with
Doesn't
your
feel like it.
with your butt on your heels. Hang on.
Let me tell
That's
you.
why those things like the squatty potty got to be sort of popular with all the sort of biohacking
But you're still
crowd.
sitting.
Is that it pushes your knees up by your chest, right? No, you're squatting on your heels.
No, I know.
Oh, when you do it in
You're
the
making
woods,
me
yeah,
think
you're doing the kimchi squat out there in the woods over
And
your
you
hole.
never get proper like relaxation because you're tensed with that squat. Your body's
well, hang
not
on. That's
adapted.
you do not have flexible enough hips. I can
I'm
relax
relaxed all day.
I can relax in that kimchi
Dude,
squat, brother.
I can
I
be
can do this
relaxed.
And if you're
podcast.
smart, you find like a little sapling pine tree that
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
hold on to
Hold-
with one hand, and then you can hang out there all day.
No, there's the
Hang out
sit over. No, that's
you can read a magazine, check your phone.
There's the sit over method, and then there's the sit against.
You're
method.
talking like a deadfall.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
So
also
hold on,
smart.
sit over.
Yeah.
You don't know this?
Talk to me.
So you find a log or a tree that's roughly like 18 inches round, and you dig your.
And you find 18 inches of wood to sit on.
Oh yeah.
Then you get your Grand Force Brook and you carve a toilet seat.
Hey,
Yeah.
you dig your cat hole on the backside, and then you sit on it,
Yeah.
hang your ass over the back like
like you're on a boat. Like you're a
exactly.
female on a
Shitting
boat.
off the backside of the boat.
Yep, yep.
And I did that in RIP when I was in the Army. And when they send you out onto the land navigation course, they pair you up. So I was paired up with a kid from New York City. And halfway through the land nav course, I was like, dude, I have to shit. And he's like, out here? I said, yeah, I said, fucking hang out over there. And he was scared to be in the woods by himself. So he would not leave my side. And I was like, dude, I'm going to take a deuce. I need you to go over there. And he wouldn't. So he fucking stood right next to me. And I dug a hole on the backside of this log and I sat over it and hung out my ass off the back and took a dump. And he's like, you seem like you've done this a lot before.
He's like, I ain't ever seen something like this.
I was like, dude, I grew up in the fucking woods. This is how we do it. And he's like, I'm scared to be out here. I said, I know.
No shit.
I'm scared you're out here. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It changes your rhythm, though. It makes your tum-tum not the
I think
same.
it's more because you don't want to shit more than once a day. You're like, I'm going to hold it until I know
I
everything
like
is
it.
ready.
How come
and then
then-
I'm
I
going
like it.
to get it all
How
out
come
in
then
one
you
shot.
do it once a day in here at home, but maybe in the woods? This is such weird pod. But in the woods, you'll go multiple times.
Oh, I don't. I go one time.
Still.
He went one time
At home, I go
entire
multiple
trip.
times because it's too comfortable.
Oh.
No,
It's too
not me,
easy.
dude.
You feel a little rumbly. You're like, yeah, I'll just go let this out. But in the woods, you're like, listen, it's a pain in the ass. If I slip up, I might get shit on my fingers. So I'm only going to risk this once a day. I'm going to wait till it is absolutely necessary, and I'm going to go one time.
Not me.
Oh,
Not me.
I'm going to spread this party throughout
dude.
the woods.
Yeah, dude. I'm fucking. Yeah.
Hang on. Let's talk about something even weirder.
masturbation.
No. Pooping in the woods, normal. Natural pooping, natural woods,
Yeah.
natural element. Everything's perfect. We won't say who. Can we talk about pooping in a bucket and in a bag? 'Cause let's get that out
He's,
there.
he's trying to maintain a semblance of that comfort of home. It doesn't exist. Just embrace the hole. Embrace the VC squat.
I've never seen you get so weirded out.
Dude, yeah. I was like, are you serious?
That was the funniest
Yeah.
fucking thing.
God,
I couldn't help it. I was dying.
dude, bucket of poop. I think it's so funny. It's like you can do it anywhere. You have hundreds of acres, thousands of acres.
But you chose a Homer's bucket.
Yeah, you took a home. Yeah, exactly. That's what trips
And I get
me
that it
out.
has a bag in it and all that, but it's so fucking, I don't know.
Still, you're pulling a bag out.
Yeah.
I will say that, like, having been on construction sites for 15 years,
Dude,
it's far more sanitary to poop in a hole in the woods than it is to go use some nasty ass porta potty on a job site.
After the drywallers, come on.
Oh yeah,
get out of here. Get
Dude. All right, you guys want a hunter pro tip from Uncle Kozak?
Yes. Yeah, let's hear it.
So, here's what you do. You go to the elderly supply store. Like if someone's in a hospital.
Yeah, and you get one of the seats. Trust me.
Not just the seat. I have it.
I got it.
Do you have the little four-legged frame?
Yes, it folds
That's
out.
the same as using a bucket.
No, it's not, because you still just you dig
Oh,
a big
you're digging
hole,
a hole underneath
and
it.
then you just poop over it.
I got
It
one
the
of those.
most amazing thing in the world.
I got one of those for a joke gift from my cousin. I was like, little do you know. I got plans.
So much.
So hang
I
on,
got plans for
where
this.
if you guys have these things, where were they this last
Oh
week?
no, I got rid of it.
Oh.
I still have it. That wasn't it. Normally, if you're there for like a full deer, like a base deer elk camp, where you're there for like 10, 11, 12, 30,
Yeah.
you have to set up base,
Yeah.
and that's when you bring it.
Are you digging a different hole every time, or are you just digging one big hole and hovering
Giant hole
and then throw a little dirt on
dirt
every time?
over
Yeah,
it? Yeah, and it's an organic toilet at that point.
That's the Army does the same thing. They call it a slit trench. You dig you dig 12 inches deep by 3 feet long, and then you just shit down the bottom of it, and then throw a layer of dirt, and then shit down the bottom, throw a layer.
And it
of
doesn't
dirt.
really stink when you throw dirt.
As long as you put
and
the
stuff
dirt on
over
top, you're good.
It just starts decomposing.
The what was it? They make little tents, little like pop up tents,
Like a
for
shower
that.
tent.
Yeah.
Little outhouse canopy.
Yeah, which is kind of like if we're talking pooping and you want to get Taj Mahal on it when you're out there, that's kind of the way, dude.
Dude, I got fuck. All right. So
Let's hear it.
Well, here's a mistake I made. Is I brought the same baby wipes I brought to deer camp last year.
Dry as hell.
Dried out. God damn it.
gotta spit on them.
It was some of the best fucking Charmin soft fucking teepee I've ever had. But you didn't have the advantage of the
Wetness?
the afterwards cleanup.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Okay, so clean up. We're talking all this gross
Clorox
stuff.
wipes.
Oh God.
You want to talk about a burn? Dude?
Well, that might help with the ticks. Let's talk. Like we've gone disgusting of bodily functions. Let's talk about what our pellaloo. Our pellaloo were the ticks in the field.
Oh God.
I didn't get one, but run across my boot.
We were under assault
Under assault.
all the time.
Dude, in that restaurant when we were eating breakfast and there was a group of high school girls behind us.
Nathan brought it up today. He goes, yeah, Kozak like lifted up his shirt and like pulled his belly out and just like pulled a tick off his belly. He goes, that high school girl was like, did that guy just pull a tick off his belly button?
Dude, they shrieked. It was
But then they started talking about ticks for the next 15 minutes.
You know what's funny? I'm sorry I missed it. I was in the bathroom looking for ticks.
It was
and
the
I came back
thing.
out, and then here's all these like way underage girls sitting on the table next to us talking about ticks, and I was like, okay, something happened. And I didn't want to say anything right in the moment, and then later in the truck, Nathan was like, "Oh yeah, Mike like just started like pinching his belly and digging through his belly hair and found a tick and pulled it out in the middle of the restaurant."
Well, no, at first he looked and he was like, I'm fine. I'm fine. And we were like,
yeah, dude,
up his shirt.
I'm like, I ain't got no ticks on me. And I pull my shirt up and I go to put it down and everyone goes, hey, wait, actually, 1 second, pull that back up. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And it's like, oh, shit. I just had to help Tobin burn one off his arm, and now I'm out there.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing is those girls were talking about prom before. They're like, dude, prom this and prom that. And then it was like straight tick conversation.
Hey,
It was
you know
hilarious.
what? Welcome to childhood in Eastern Washington, bitches.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. They seemed like they were very well.
It didn't scar them too much.
But you know what's funny? It's like, that's the hunting trip. That adds to it. Tell me about your hunting trip. Did you get one? No. But we
I got
scared a
7
group of
ticks.
high school girls by pulling a tick out in a middle of
a
nowhere
diner.
Denny's.
Dude,
you know?
that food, though, was so
That was no
good.
Denny's. That was no Denny's. That was good
That was
food.
pretty good.
Yeah, that was solid.
I want to take potatoes on a cheese grater. I
Yes.
think that's how those hash browns were.
Oh, they're
That's the way.
100%. They were from, but then cooking hash browns is an art. Like it's not that easy. You can get like soggy, shitty hash browns, but they had hit them with the cheese grater. Like they had done real potatoes. Yeah, real potatoes with the cheese grater.
You get soak them in,
and then they had got like that good blackened brown sort of crust on them, and so they were a little crispy and like those were legit.
Yeah, yeah, because it was surprising for how much there was. Yeah. It wasn't mushy in the middle.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It takes. Yeah.
Can you imagine all the hunters stopping there on their way? They're like, there's this sweet little breakfast spot. They're like, we got the best hash browns and the most ticks, like east in the mountains.
Everybody's just picking them off, throwing them on the floor.
Running around, stomping.
I like your Dollar General story.
Oh dear God.
we got to get off this shit talk.
Yeah, exactly. Except that was the theme of the trip because we literally started on the drive there.
Oh, that was. So we get out there. We're
in Wilbur.
Yeah, we're in Wilbur. A Dollar General. We're looking for a bathroom because we've been on this trip.
We stopped at a baseball, like a little league field.
It's like a 6-hour drive to get over there. It's a very long drive.
But we stopped and we stopped at a little baseball diamond, and surprise, surprise, the bathroom's locked. Mm-hmm. So we're like, shit,
can't do math.
So then we started going. We started driving out, and then it was like, oh, there's a Dollar General. Let's stop there. So we pull in.
Of course there is. Of course there is. Yeah, middle of fucking nowhere. Dollar General right on the side of the highway.
Yeah, so we
God shining the light.
Yeah, we go in there and buy a couple things that we needed to buy, and the gal was like, oh yeah, here's the key to the bathroom, and then I get the key. I give the key to Nathan. Nathan uses the bathroom. Tobin walks in after that. They're walking around. Nathan gives the key to Tobin. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm next. And I kind of peek, and there's an old man that's leaning against
Jordan made the mistake of walking away from the bathroom.
Yeah, I was like, I don't need to start a line kind of thing. But this old man did not care. He was willing to start that line.
He was in, like, as I opened the door, he's like face to face with me.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets the key from Tobin, son of a bitch.
and I had a moment there where I opened the door and I was like, I'm not giving the key to this guy. But he's literally blocking my way out of the bathroom.
It's crazy.
And I'm like, no. Jordan gets the key next.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting by. So I was like, here you go.
Yeah. So this old man, old Vietnam vet, fucking
broke Tobin's warrior spirit with the key. Here you go, sir.
Yeah, dude.
Jordan won't poop.
Just demolished this bathroom, and I was like, because at first I was like, there is.
What's the worst he could do?
I got Tobin, I got Nathan in front of me, son of a bitch, and then like I see that guy standing there, and I was like, he's gonna get that bathroom before me. Fuck. Okay, whatever. He went in there and just wrecked house, and then didn't clean it up. Yeah. He didn't clean it up. It was that poor toilet was cracked. I'm almost positive. Yeah, he I don't know what happened. I ended up having to use a plunger in this bathroom, dude. Did
you have to clean the rim and the seat, or just
the back of it?
Ugh.
The back of it to sit down. Yeah, and it's like, my hand. It was horrible, but I needed to go to the bathroom again.
I feel like that's a problem for multiple Dollar Generals across the nation in the middle of
when you put them out in the middle of a cornfield.
Their bathrooms get assaulted.
But this guy,
this ain't the first.
He
time.
knew what he had done.
Oh yeah,
this motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Did he salute you? Is he like, yeah, Nom was crazy, boys. I left a Charlie in the tank.
Bitch, dude, this old son of a bitch looks at me. He says, like, he kind of like mumbles something about not wanting to go in there, like kind of making a joke, or like, oh, you're going in there now, something like that. And it was like, what did you just like? Are you doing this to torture somebody and you didn't want it to be me?
Oh,
like,
God.
Yeah, he reluctantly handed me the key, and because like, I'll take that, and he was like. Okay, kind of thing. And I walk in there, I was like, you son of a bitch. And by the time I got out, he was gone. Just a fucking,
But doesn't...
he knew. He had to...
He knew.
He might have been walking slow on the way in, but he knew he had to skedaddle on the way out.
Never seen a rascal go that fast.
Oh man, yeah, he was burning rubber, dude. That guy got out of there.
Drained his battery.
So hang on, it was at that Dollar General too that the debate of the weekend began, because we were looking at beer prices. And and here we are drinking.
You want to talk about
we're drinking hoity-toity silver bullets again.
Yeah.
And
the only one that can tell, apparently.
listen, I looked at the Keystone Lights as I was coming here, but you could only buy a 30-pack, and I was like, maybe I'll just get a 12. And I couldn't get a 12 of Keystone Light, but it was like an $8 difference between the Keystone and the Coors. Yeah. And so Jordan and I bought 1 and 1 just so we could do a little taste test. And I don't think there was any difference.
I know.
Well, you guys couldn't tell there was a difference.
Oh, dude, you have a refined palate. You can tell the difference.
Did we not witness it?
I don't remember
around
the second
campfire.
Hang on
a minute.
Do a
I
second
thought
blind study though. That was the first. The
you,
first one.
You said yes. You could. I thought nobody could tell the difference. Are you saying you could?
Mike. So we did a blind study with Mike here.
Mike's looking at us with disdain.
He closed his eyes. We handed him a beer. Didn't tell him that it was Coors. Then we switched it and gave him the Keystone, and he was like, "Yes, there's a difference." That's all he said.
No, I delineated between the two.
I don't remember you delineating.
Was this OJ trial? I don't remember a difference. Get out of here.
But I guess we'll have to do it again.
Yeah,
we'll have to do it again.
My skills will hold up.
Another blind test.
Yeah, but because it's not a double blind study until you've done it twice.
That's true.
You know,
double means two.
That's right. So. Scienced.
True hunters here. How was hunting? Well, one guy delineated the difference between Coors.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, we learned a lot out there.
Senses were at an all-time high.
Yeah, no. So that was it was a good time, dude. Sitting around that fire, dude. Tell you what, the first couple nights, I froze my butt off.
Shit, it was fucking cold.
Trying to warm up around that fire, the wood just
bunch
wouldn't
of wet wood,
burn.
And smoking and smoldering.
Yeah, I think it helped us with the ticks a little bit, but
probably.
Yeah,
took a year off.
They were moving slow too in the cold weather.
Yeah, dude,
is what happened. They couldn't
horrible.
jump and drop the way they normally do. And then it warmed up on that last day, and they mauled us.
Yeah, but then we ended up getting that. We got that tree cut down.
Yeah,
that changed the game.
Yeah,
that changed the entire game. But yeah, I couldn't believe how cold. Like, I was sitting in the fire trying to warm up, and I was like, "Come on, buddy."
Yeah.
Wet wood, and then it's also where you're staying up there. It is higher. Like, you drive through all that high grassland, and it makes you like deer. This last year, we were at 7,000 to 8,000 feet. And you're like, God damn, that is pretty high. Storms and weather really do move in, and just even your turkey hunting in like kind of close to a city, or not close to a city, but you know, there's civilization. You're also up there, and that weather moves in. That first
we
day,
got hailed on the first day.
We got rain, snowed, sunshine, rain, snowed, sunshine.
Yeah,
like twice,
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times in one day.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there was a couple times where it was like I'm sitting out in the sun and I'm stripping layers off because I'm getting hot sitting there, and then all of a sudden I'm like, "This is hail."
Yeah,
is this hail coming in? Like, holy shit! I got to get my wool shirt back on. And like, oh fuck, here it comes. I'm going back to camp.
The best is when it's sunshine and snowing, and you're like, "Does God exist?
Yeah, what is going on?
Why is
right
that?
now?
I don't know what to dress for. I got flip flops and a rain jacket. Yeah. Say the best. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, should we take a
break?
little pee break?
And we'll come back with focus.
What were you saying?
The key to every successful hunt is taking something away from it. Like I said, you take 2 things away from a hunt. You take the animals and you take yourself. And for me, this animal was the first day turkey that I felt like I chased the entire weekend. The last day, we did not hunt. We just kind of hung out. It was nice. It was our sleeping in the woods for me, slowly tearing down camp, shooting eggs with shotguns, having a good time, decompressing. Shot some 22s in the middle of the day, shot some arrows. I forgot my knives to throw. I brought throwing. I didn't bring throwing knives, but
Blowgun.
Yeah.
That was a fun one that first year. But that's what it is. That's the memory. Like the shit stories, the talking, the dude at the Dollar General, like the journey is part of it.
Absolutely.
It's a long adventure
the road trip
and
is
everything.
It felt like a road trip through like Hollywood Americana, because you're going through it's a backcountry 2-lane highway through a bunch of, you go over the mountains and then down into the Columbia Gorge and then through a bunch of farmland and then finally back up into the Sawtooth Mountains there.
Yeah.
And you're passing through all these little podunk towns. And
Google Maps. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I saw
He was
two
like-
mountains.
Saw a couple of radix, the Scatlands.
That's right, yeah. Continental Divide.
But that's not only the journey of the journey getting there, but the journey of the hunt.
Yeah.
What it takes to not only get there, but then to endure the animals and the pursuit and the weekends and the days of trying to, you're on vacation, but try and maybe get up early and get out there and sit for hours. And what that means over one day. Oh, I think the animal's doing this. And then the second day, oh, it seems they're doing something the same. For me, that was what I was noticing, just hopping on different ridges and getting close. But that whole experience of what you learn as the animals and following them, but then because you're forced to sit in their woods, their tempo, their moment, I didn't have a dirt bike to ride. So I tried this area we hunted this year, those fields on public land. That border I like to hunt. It's very active and it's constantly what it is. But that backside, I've only had it fire a couple times. And to come there the first day and it seemed incredibly fiery. And then the next morning, it was like I'm pursuing an animal. And I really hunted that backside, chasing what I felt like was one very vocal turkey. But then while I'm hunting them, I'm forced to sit for so long, for so many hours. So I'm just stuck with me and looking. And after looking, nothing's happened. And you chirp every 20 minutes, make some sounds. It paid off, things hit, but you're just forced with you. And so you just sit there that entire time. And you're forced to reflect this is what I think about. I think about, how am I hunting? Does this seem good? If where I am, this is how I would attack an animal. This is the best at this moment position to be. And yes, sitting here is a very good choke point, or it's something that's going to lead to success. But then while I sit there, I think, what is success? What is my life? If my life is my life, am I sitting at the best choke point of life? You're constant, because that is hunting. You're looking at either success or failure. So you want to put yourself in the best position of success. And this is weird to say, but it's to me, you're constantly forced with what yes or no. And so it makes you think about life, because you're stuck there for hours. What am I doing with life? Is life good?
Hang on. I like what you're saying. Because
I'll give you guys one guess as to what happened during this break.
Cruising altitude. You're going to roll your eyes at me, but you're going back and forth. And where Mike's sitting here focusing on, am I sitting on the Turkey Highway? I was leaning against trees, just thinking to myself, I'm so fucking lucky to be out here. And this is so much nicer than being in the city. And that's probably why I never shot anything, is I'm just fucking putting my face in the sun and closing my eyes.
Dreaming.
But that's part of why I love going out there. And it was sort of the same thing on that deer hunt. Nathan was super focused on trying to find an animal and shoot it. And obviously there was none in the area, but I just enjoyed the shit out of it, because I just enjoyed and was grateful to be out there.
Yeah. There's a, to what, Mike's saying, you can take away the lessons of what you learn, so you never come back with nothing, right?
Yeah.
You come back with a story, and you come back with knowledge. And to go out there and fall asleep and kind of reset your clock. I come back as hard as you can work on some hunts. elk hunting, especially like elk hunting is more so. This was me riding around on a motorcycle, drinking some beer and hanging out.
Hey,
like
I rode on that with you.
watching. Yeah, we doubled up.
Oh, I know.
We doubled up.
Dude, that was so funny pulling. Dude, my favorite thing is when we hit the road, you look back and you go, "That's way different than Nathan."
Yeah.
I got you, buddy.
Yeah, hold on tight. Hold on tight. That motorcycle setup so perfect for that, dude.
That's fun.
But that's the thing is like you go out and it was vacation, it's nice to go on a hunt. That's not. You don't have to push, but when you come back, you still feel relaxed. And like to going on an elk hunt, you go and you bust your ass, and then you come back and it's like.
But
I didn't relax, but I feel better.
Yes. But that's what I mean. What is that? Like, hunting is very clear. It's either success or failure. And that is life. What is a fight or a wrestling match or a jiu-jitsu match or a job that you acquire?
The thing is,
it's success or failure.
The failure happens so often in this that you have to look to the silver lining of like what we did was like, yes, we went out, we didn't shoot a turkey, but all the shit that we gained, so much better. Like, I mean, not better. It'd be even sweet to get that, but you're not gonna do this and go, well, I didn't get one, I'm gonna give up. It's like we had so much fun. So why would you not continue to? And that's the thing is, I think a lot of people get so caught up in that is their.
It's competitive. They're
but yes, competitive is good. But that's what I mean. That is success or failure. Everyone has the mindset to kill a turkey.
Yeah, but you need to be able to
grow a mentality amongst your group where it's like, this is Mecca. You know what I mean? And so for me, sitting in those woods thinking success or no success, it's like, what is success in life? I should be doing, I should be on a yacht with Jay-Z apparently.
Yeah.
But I'm not success.
Jay-Z should be sitting there in the turkey blind. Dude, oh my God. A Jay-Z turkey album? Are you kidding me?
Just nothing but turkey calls.
Oh, gobble.
Yeah.
Bronx. Gobble, gobble.
Bronx. Yeah. Big shout out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But it makes me think but that's cool. It's like, I've had a couple camps where I like hunting with the people around me and stuff like that, but it is that though. It's a group mentality. Dude, the fact that you're out on your dirt bike wrangling turkeys like buffalo herds, but you're out there hunting and everyone has their input and it's like, dude, this is what I saw and this is what I learned and this is what I felt. Mm-hmm. But like you say, you come home and you feel like work's a little different. I feel like it's those facts of when you're sitting out there that it's nature. Putting yourself in the pace of nature is like meditation. It slows you down and it gives you focus. Yeah. And there's something we're animals, right? Mm-hmm. So there's something inherently
back to a natural rhythm.
Good. That's grounding. Yeah. Fuck walking barefoot, go hunting. Yeah. I think that grounds you way harder. Take a nap like Jordan, get even more grounded. There are certain rhythms that the animals move that we forgot how to. We're too busy.
Well, it's also 100%. Like the getting up with the sun and then having a fire at dusk and going down. You know what I mean? Like all of that stuff is.
But that's the thing is like I feel like that doesn't happen right away for me. Like, I'm so fucking drained and, like, I'm so...
Dude, you were tense from bringing your trailer, buddy.
Well, no, I'm talking about, like, just your normal day-to-day life. Like, I come from what I come from every day to go do that.
It did
5 days ain't long enough.
Yeah. It felt... It was a little stressful getting everybody out. You know what I mean? And I agree with you. Yeah. And that was when I had that thought of, like, deer hunting was so easy because we had to pack our backpacks. Yeah. And that does really, really simplify everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So but I mean, we could. That's also the first time we're not dialed in the.
Hang on. I got to ask a question. Do you think, because we only went for 3 days technically?
Yeah.
Do you think it's easier to pack for a day, like a 10-day trip, in that same
I think it would be
cargo.
I think it would be the
and
same
it would take
stress
less
level.
Stress.
No. I think it would be the same stress level for 10 days or 3 days.
Yeah, I think if you're going that route, you're looking at the same kind of shit. But I think,
although I wouldn't call it stressful, it was just it took me an entire afternoon because I was like, oh, I got to fill the cooler. I'm going to bring all, and when you're packing a tub for all your own personal shit, you're like, well, I can bring this and I can bring that. And like, okay, well, if I'm bringing that, I have to remember this, and it's like,
yeah,
that's what I mean.
This
I
one
feel like
item takes three
accessories.
Yeah, exactly.
that's what I mean. Whether you're packing for 3 days or 10 days, I feel like mentally you put yourself in that picture where it's 10 days no matter what.
Yeah.
So a 3-day trip, you're overpacked.
Yeah.
Like we had
we had so much steak and fucking
food,
bacon and eggs and shit, which is also nice.
How much gas did you put back into your motorcycle? None. That could have lasted.
I had to top off my tank, although I think it was only half.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, this guy did. But Jordan, the old T-Dub, the guy hunting.
Yeah, there's aspects of bringing more things to have. I don't know, dude. I don't think that there's
the trailer's not in your fucking.
No, it is because that's what
it
I
is,
bring.
But
for,
it isn't.
That's what I bring for elk hunting.
Yeah,
I'll bring that.
But that, how long are you there?
2 weeks.
Yeah, that's why it's easier.
But no, I think the issue was now I have the trailer with the motorcycle, which the motorcycle was new, but then it was coordinating with Tobin.
Loading
so now we're both loading into that.
It also will be easier the second time you do it.
Yes, 100%. And that's the thing. Is
Did you stay at Tobin's house or you go there the day you left?
He
stayed
slept over.
that evening. Yeah, I slept on the floor in the living room.
Oh, puppetry of the penis once again is coming back, boys.
Yeah, so we did that, and then we got up and we're like, why the fuck are we leaving so early?
Hang on. No. It was about midnight.
Dude, you guys
It was about
suck. I
midnight,
left
and we were
so
about
early.
4 beers deep, and we were like, why are we getting up at 4?
To go turkey hunting.
Yeah,
you
we're like,
dum-dums.
and we're like, we could get up at 7 or 6 or something.
Yep.
And so then we slept till 8, and then we called Steve, and he's like, I'm almost there, and we're like, dude, we're in Lake Stevens.
Yep.
And he's like, you guys are the worst.
Yeah, you pieces of shit.
Dude, James was so excited to go turkey hunting. I'm like, come over at like 4 to 4:15, and like my alarm goes off. I preset my coffee pot in the morning. I got my bathrobe on. I fucking pour myself a cup of coffee, and I see like James just like holding his bag, like unloading stuff in the driveway. I go out there. He's like, "You still in your bathrobe?" It's like, God damn, it's so early. Yeah. We left so early,
And we were not about to do that. Yeah. We had a theme this weekend, and it's just one more.
But you know what I did? You know what I did? That night, I got there. That hunt with Steve. Mm-hmm. It's fun. Uh-huh. What I was talking about, either success or it's not. The ability that I got to get there a little bit earlier than you guys and find some turkeys on that hillside that gave me a boner to kill one particular
This is from the
turkey.
guy who perennially shows up at 6:07 for practice.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
But not turkey hunt.
Yeah.
I was there, boys.
Yeah, I haven't gotten
one
there.
bird.
I haven't gotten
weekend.
there. I haven't gotten there with turkeys yet. As far as like, I don't take it as seriously because it's nice to have that kind of thing where it's not as serious. Like
it's game,
and I think it's big game. When you start getting into big game, it's not quite as serious. It's more serious.
Yeah.
But then like, it depends, right? Because antelope's not serious. Antelope's like you can get out there, kind of drive.
But it's a bigger animal.
Thing.
The bigger something is, the more serious. Like a rabbit hunt, you're not going to take as serious as a deer hunt.
But I feel like it's more. I don't want to say there's more value on the animal.
I think the quality of the meat goes up as the animal gets bigger.
Maybe the pursuit of the hunt also is a factor. The gobble of the turkey is much more fun than just shooting beavers in the river to eat them. Like to chase a gobble is kind of like, wow, that was fun.
Oh, it's an absolute blast.
There could be something prehistoric about it too, where like if you
Yes,
down a
of
big
course.
bull elk, now you've fed your entire village, and you get to go back like a triumphant hero and be like, hey, I brought 600 pounds of meat or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is you've never elk hunted, but I've always said this. The reason I like turkey hunting is because they're so vocal.
A micro elk.
Dude, when you're standing next to a screaming elk and you see it, there is something that just fucking hits your soul. And like turkey hits it in that same way, but there's, like they say, yeah, there's different levels to this. And yeah, it is, that's human, is to hear animals sounding off and you want to fucking harvest them. Being in the woods and putting yourself in that pace, that rhythm, it's important. Jordan sharpening my knife.
I was saying, what are we doing?
I'm sorry.
You're good.
I'm
You're
listening.
Good. Yeah.
Reverse circumcision.
I'm adding.
No, it's important. It hits something. I will always say it. The first time I ever really went hunting, I was lucky enough to go elk hunting, and I got dropped off in a sweet spot, and I felt what it was like to have animals around me and sounds and smells, and I started to have that, but then I felt something in me, like the animals are this way. You feel it like in your tailbone, in your spine, your senses kind of set off, and you're putting yourself in something that's just his sense in man. Just the way we can't shock people, but electric eels can shock people. There's evolutionary advantages. Using your muscle of hunting and pursuing and stalking, and it's something that's inherently in humans. And I've never flexed it before until I first hunted. And I got lucky enough to do it in elk area. Super elky, chased elk down. And from that day on, it's like this is inherently a caveman muscle, like a superpower that people forgot how to use. And I never used it my entire life until my 30. And then once I used it, it was like, this is purpose. This is inherently man. This is something I saw that was like forever in life. This is something that you were created to do. Just the way you're meant to drink water, to eat food, to shit in a hole. This is part of a process of what your body is meant to use.
Yeah, I think there's
hunting has purpose.
Yes, and that's what I think a lot of people are finding more and more. The problem that there's not more people hunting now probably than ever, but I don't know. But it's getting
there is, because
more
the
and more
population is
expensive,
growing
dude.
exponentially.
It is
the cost is ridiculous.
Well, it's becoming
actually that's
you know
that's
what?
an interesting
That's bullshit.
factory
That's
farming and stuff. That's an interesting question. How much hunting? No.
I was going to say hunting does not need to be expensive.
If there was no factory
but
farming and the whole world was hunting,
Yeah.
the ratio of hunters to farmers would be very low.
Yes.
Right?
hunting's big money for tags and and all that,
for
like
raising revenue.
Raising revenue, but it's also like the market for hunting is like, look at all these companies that are making
backpacks and clothing.
And you start going down the fucking rabbit hole.
It's as big as like the outdoor sort of REI type crowd.
Oh, I think it's
maybe
just as big, maybe a
Cabela's.
little bigger.
Yeah.
And there's
I want to shoot Cecil the lion.
Right.
I need a sweet backpack and harness. Yeah, there's a whole industry.
You start going down that industry, the outdoor, hunting industry has become such a fucking thing, and it's like
it's hip though too.
That's
because it's in the
yes.
zeitgeist
Yes.
of Rogan and everything.
Yep.
I think he's probably the reason.
There's
it's
a
gotten
yes,
so
agreed,
big.
100%.
Rogan is responsible for Cam Hanes blowing up, and Cam Hanes is responsible for bow hunting becoming cool.
Jordan, how'd you get into hunting? I've never had this conversation with you.
I got into hunting. We were always a big fishing family.
Same. That's how.
So
Yes.
I grew up fishing like crazy, and we
Lake, river, saltwater,
lakes, and we were like basically like our big deal was going and trolling in lakes for trout.
Yeah, I've seen those trout. Yeah, you have monsters, dude. Those things are bigger than salmon I catch in the saltwater.
Yeah, so
we're talking kings.
yeah. So some of the we'd go to town on that. Then when I was like, I think I was like 18. No, I was probably a little younger than that. Maybe 16. We started talking about hunting, and we always it was always like, it wasn't weird to us, but it was just something we didn't do because my dad didn't hunt. He hunted when he was a kid. when he was like 18.
It's hard to get into if you don't have experience.
My grandpa hunted, and it was just something that it was like, out of our, as a kid who had no money and couldn't do anything, it was kind of like out of my range of like pursuance. And especially if like I didn't have somebody that would just grab me and say, here's this, here's that, let's go. This is what we do. And my brother worked, I can't remember exactly where he was working, but his boss was like, hey, I'll take you hunting. And my brother went hunting when he was like maybe 19, 20 with a coworker and got a little buck and was all charged up about it. And then my dad was like, you know what? I need to fucking go out and start hunting too. So my dad goes and starts hunting. And then I was like, well, I better get on this too. So that's when I started. And I was, like I said, I was like 18, I think.
That's good age though.
Yeah, 18, 19. And then, but you look at like the young kids that like started when they're 12 and they grew up in it because it's different. I
started
right?
when I was 30, man.
But what I'm saying is,
you start when you're 18. You're so lucky.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's still
and
super
then,
lucky.
Yeah,
lucky
you're still
for
young
it.
and you learn.
And then you go to college, or like when I got down to Oregon, there was a bunch of kids that like they were into it, and that was kind of what they're. But none of us really was like. I've gone deer hunting like twice.
Why'd you continue pursuing it? Why did you enjoy it? From that first time you went, why do you like
knew it was something. I was always into hiking and being in the outdoors and fishing, and there was something special about like taking an animal and then putting it on a plate and eating it. And when you caught it, and that was also like really, I love cooking.
Yeah.
And when I was like, I can get something, like, what's the most extreme version of being able to cook is like, oh, I have a garden and I grew everything that's on this plate right now. Everything here I made from scratch. Like, it was my input, and I'm taking complete control of everything that I just did. And hunting is that next thing if you want protein in there, right?
Animal.
It's like, am I going to have a chicken? Like, you could do the same thing with that, right? But there's something cool.
Butchering a hog that you raised.
Yeah, but there's something really cool to going and like getting after an animal. Like, and I never had like property or anything where I could raise an animal to harvest or like, slaughter or chickens or anything like that. I just didn't have access to that. I was a kid. But it just felt really cool to be able to go and like get an animal and then take it, cut it all up from this thing being in its natural environment, not being raised in a pen, to me seeing it, me making the decision to take its life, and then taking that and like putting it on a fucking plate and having 100%,
the entire process.
Yeah, but like being like, everything was me making the choice to do this next thing, to get to this point, to all of a sudden I'm sitting around with my family and we're eating something that I just fucking
because
put all this
it's a supply chain of one person.
And it feels so good. But it feels really good to sit around and feed it to your friends and
It's
family.
also the most unique animal out there, the most untouched by man, chemicals, stuff like that.
That was never in my fucking
I know, but I'm just saying, like, and I'm not hunting it saying that or thinking it, but it is like,
because I'm eating candy bars.
I love all my.
That's true. Solid point.
The same reason I started hunting is because fishing, growing up, fishing, crabbing. Started freshwater, a lot of rivers with my dad, steelhead and stuff. And then growing up later, lakes, saltwater, started crabbing, then start saltwater fishing, get boats, the sound. It was nice to do things. Got into hunting in my 30s. And it was all because of, why do you fish? Why do you crab? Because it tastes delicious.
Yeah.
And it was like, I want to like get some, I thought I could just get a sheep. I knew nothing about hunting in Washington until I hit like 30. And I'm like, I'm going to get my license and see what I can do. And that pursuit of like, I just want to eat this, turned into a whole new thing. But in the end of the day, it's still just about eating food to me.
Yeah.
And just because of a passion of my tummy rumbling, it has led me into, like you guys are saying, clothes, culture, like podcasts, people like science studies looking up how animal behavior moves.
Mm-hmm.
But it ties it back to these human things, these primal, that thing that senses like in your back when you're stalking and you feel animals in your spine, the way that you want to eat and it makes you salivate and you feel it in your body and the hunger. It's a weird connection that brings everything as a human being. It ties so many things.
One of my biggest goals I want to have a party really bad. And this is, again, why I need a kitchen.
Skate kiss.
I want to have a party with all of my friends who garden or hunt or somehow create their own
potluck of nature.
Yeah, and it's like everything at this table must be something that we made from fucking scratch. It's like nothing will be store bought. Everything will be like, I harvested this, I got that fish, I grew these tomatoes, and everybody brings their own little thing to it. And I'd love to be like all the way down to like the eggs or the flour, but it's like nobody is growing wheat out there, let's be honest. But
you're not smoking
to be able to like go as far extreme as we can go with like within reason, right?
Yeah, but that's
this party, because the appreciation for that food is so much higher when everybody has the same, like, you know what it took to grow this?
They have skin in the game.
Yeah, but then everybody kind of has I think that would be the equivalent to doing jiu-jitsu with people and eating. It's like, I know what you've done to do this. I see that you have a fucking beehive and you got that honey from this to make that mead that we're all drinking right now. How fucking crazy. Like, or you grew these plants to make these spices to make this mixed drink or to, make this salad or make whatever it is, right? And to be able to like do that with all of your friends who put effort into this, that meal would be so amazing.
Well, think about it. That was culture 120 years ago. That was just what people did more so.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
you always had markets, but
they call me a Renaissance man.
Yeah. But that's what I mean.
We need to go down to Oregon because you would enjoy getting the grand tour from my mom.
Oh, yeah.
Because everything is...
Come on, dude.
She does it all in-house.
Yeah.
From the dirt to
front door to back door.
Shit.
Tell your mom I said hi, dude.
I don't think we're going to invite down there.
Mr. Plow. Tell her Mr. Plow said hi.
Oh, dear.
No, I would like that a lot. I'm very curious as to how that all operates.
Yeah. It's pretty fascinating. It's cool. It's fun.
But that's a beautiful point. Talking about hunting, it's like the fact that you're trying to pursue clean, quality meat, right? Something that's not touched. The idea that you want to get together with a group of friends and have things that are the purest, don't have chemical touch, GMOs, weird things, just nature. Everyone has a little bit in the game. It's like doing those things. That's why hunting makes sense to you, is a little bit of purity and a little bit of stake, like that you have more connection in it. It all goes towards food and sharing an experience. Eating is a very communal thing. I think the hunt was a very much more communal part of tradition as human beings. But as factory farming and as someone takes away the hunt, it destroys community where you only enjoy the food. That's why you have obese food critics having food shows on the Food Network. If there was more shows that connected the killing of the animals and then the eating of it, like a Ranella, that ties the human experience together. I think that's good, though, what you say. It's a good way of putting it, though, of you're sourcing, you want everything pulled together as a community.
Yeah.
And that's what food is. That's what the hunt is. That's what you get to think about when you're out there stalking these stupid things.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Your
I mean,
DW.
can you imagine? Could you imagine like you know the feeling you get when you really like you try.
Yeah.
The feeling you get when you try
And it works out.
Well, and it works out, but when you try and now people are going to judge. They're going to judge the performance. So you make this food and these people are eating it and they go, this is great.
You're
And
looking
it's
at
like
reactions.
bullshit. You're
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
for like this thing. It's like, I really put effort
Yes.
into this and I want to see like
I want to see people's
the
reaction.
vulnerability in that.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself out there 100%.
But that's what I mean. And you imagine doing that at a table full of everybody who had done the same thing.
Yeah.
Actually,
yes, I can. 'Cause
Conversations.
That would be
and
like
jiu-jitsu.
it would be like jujitsu, and it'd also be like because I have the same feeling like after a class. So yesterday I had a full
Your first
day.
three-way. Hell,
Yeah.
even your second.
Yeah, and then you're judging your performance. Just walking away from class yesterday afternoon, and everybody was happy. They always are, and yet every time I'm like, oh shit, this has to go well. This has to go well. I have to put out the right energy. I have to be like on the right level of animation to sort of get the points across and to keep people's interest. And fuck, what if I'm not good enough today? And then you like at the end of the day, when you realize that everything went well and everybody's happy and people are smiling and they're shaking your hand, they're saying, hey man, I'm really glad I came out here. And you're
Positive exchange of energy.
and you're like, oh, thank fucking God. And then it makes you feel, I was exhausted, but it makes you feel so good.
Yeah.
And
fulfilled.
Exactly. It's the same thing, but I could only imagine now teaching a class to a bunch of instructors, like other people who have their own class. Like imagine if Tony Cowden came out here next summer to teach his class. I'm like, hey, listen, bro, I want you to be in my class.
No. You're not teaching out here until you take a class.
Exactly.
No,
And how you would feel going into that and just knowing that there's a high likelihood of like disdain. Like, dude, what are you even doing?
well, that's
Although I don't actually know. I actually think that we are teaching good shit out here, and fundamentals are fundamentals, and there is no. Even if you brought a very high level shooter out and said, "Hey, this is what we teach," they'd say, "Yeah, that's a good course."
well that I think that goes into like everybody's thought of like, am I good enough? What's the word? I'm looking
Imposters.
for?
I have
Yes,
imposter syndrome
yes,
for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
but what you're talking about is what I started this entire night off. Want me to put a bow on this for you, gentlemen, and show you how to wrap up a podcast?
Fucking A.
All right. Daddy's got you. So, sorry. The purpose is that pursuit, that pain, that work.
no, it's not.
Good night. Oh, shit.
The pursuit. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. The purpose.
Good night.
No. The purpose is that pursuit, that sitting, that pain, the journey of the trip, the journey of the hunt, the journey of all of that, right? And like I said, it makes me think, what is success and what isn't success? Success in jiu-jitsu, you tap someone or you get tapped. You start a business, it works or it fails, right? Positive, negative. I kill a turkey, I don't kill a turkey, right? So, but that's the same thing you gentlemen are talking about. I feel like I'm putting out a good product. It either is good and works or it's bad and fails. I want a bunch of food. I'm cooking it for a collective. Either it's good and they like it or it's bad and it fails. You're forced to sit out there in nature and slow down and reflect upon what you're doing. Something that's so simple as I'm just going to go shoot this turkey in the face didn't happen. But you're focusing your mind. It's a weird form of meditation that men have been doing throughout history and pursuing animals. And I think it builds reflection and it makes you kind of take your daily life and slow the minutia down and just it makes things approach at a different level. Like you all said, you come back and life's a little different. You've been slowed to the pace of the woods, but that's inherent. You want to talk about your primal nature, your warrior spirit. There is something about hunting that just strikes a chord in your being.
100%. 100%.
Talk about it, promote it, look into it. Don't demonize it. And if I guess you like it, support it.
Yeah. What's up? He's got his.
Also, get a dirt bike and hunt turkeys, right, Tobin?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Funnest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's about it.
I think we're going to wrap it up, huh? Is that the bow, Mike?
That was a bow.
That was
the bow.
a phenomenal bow. By
All right,
the way.
guys. Well, hey, let's say this: if you're enjoying the show, please share it with friends and family, because once again, we're always getting sort of shadow banned, probably because of me. But
Hey, you're the devil, dude.
I know. But anyway, the only way the show gets out is by word of mouth. So give us a review on Spotify or iTunes and share with everybody you know, because we do have some good upward trending numbers, but it's slow progress, which is, I guess, it's fine as long as it's progress.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like pursuing a turkey.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
There's,
I'm box calling sponsors all around me. Yeah.
yeah. That's all I got. All right. Later.